What's going on, Rams fans? Welcome back to Rams Showcase. Tonight, still no uniforms? Really? Schedule releases on the 7th, so we at least get that. And Joe Stradamus makes his return, but it's not football related.
Welcome to Rams Showcase on Sports War Radio.
What's going on, Rams fans? Welcome back to another edition of Rams Showcase right here on Sports War Radio. I am your host, Joe Branham, but you can and should call me Sheriff Joe Bags. Laying down the law for you guys tonight. Pretty cool show for you guys. Kind of a light news week, unfortunately. That's why Joe Stradamus is making a non-Rams related sports pick, and why we also have fan quesos again. We brought those back a second time. I did them last episode. Maybe this is just something we do again. I don't know, I like doing the fan quesos. I think they're fun. But seriously though, where are these uniforms at? Demoff, you got some questions to answer, bro. At least to respond to one of my tweets. I tweet Kevin Demoff like every other day with some kind of gif of me waiting around for these uniforms. I just want them. I don't even care what they look like. I just want to see them so that I can buy my own custom ones. Number 9, Sheriff Joe Bags on the back. That's how we roll. Let's get into some Rams stuff, alright? We don't have a long show for you guys. Like I said, it's a pretty light news week. We do have some stuff to talk about. And I also kind of have a little bit of a call to action for you guys. If you guys want to get, some participation going on the Rams Showcase, it'll be YouTube related, video related. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. First of all, we need to talk about schedules. Schedules are coming out tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 6th. That's why I say that. But we get them tomorrow. And, I mean, we do get the schedule release show. That always happens. And it's always pointless. I'll tell you that much. You don't have to watch the schedule release show normal years, because what happens is the show begins and the schedule gets released that second. All teams post their schedules that very second. So the first time they did the show, I actually tried to watch it, and when that's what happened, I was just like, oh, I don't need to watch the rest of this. Okay, I got it. So I just turned it off, and then I started doing Joe Bags things with the schedules information. So, I mean, I did that, and then this year we actually found out that the Rams, the schedule is going to release, 8, so 5 o'clock LA time. 4:30, we're going to have the Rams schedule. We already announced it. 30 minutes before the schedule release show begins, we just get our schedule. So we'll be doing that. It buys me an extra 30 minutes to start working on my graphics. If you guys have been Rams Showcase followers for a while, then you know that I do the images every single week, or every single year. Every game, I do an image for it and then kind of just lay out the schedule. So what's cool about that is we get those as early as possible. What's not cool about that is I can't start yet because I don't get access to the leaks of the schedule. But you know what? What can you do? You can't really... You can't do a whole lot about that. So we will have the full graphics, though. And one thing that I kind of started doing, I think it was 2 years ago I started, I did it last year for sure, was doing wallpapers, cell phone wallpapers. I still am not so dope at picking out the sizes for them. Usually if they fit on my phone, they won't fit on iPhones. But you know what? I got to try to adjust for that, because I know not everybody has the same cell phone. How boring would that be if everybody had the same exact cell phone? But I'll be trying to make some wallpapers. If you guys want a desktop wallpaper, I can probably do that as well. Be working on some stuff. I'll have some time to knock out some images. School is this class. I'm guessing it's not going to take up too much of my time, and work is taking up extremely little amounts of my time. Actually, what's taking up most of my time is wasting time. So we got that going for us. and today I'm doing some green screen videos after I record this video, and that you guys will see next week what I'm doing. But I'll record it after this. I'll publish this and everything, and then I'll get that recorded. But green screen's right over there, and I'm gonna be ridiculous for a little bit. So, but yeah, we get the schedule, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna make these graphics a little bit simpler than I have in the past. I know you guys probably don't care about that information as much as I do, but I'm excited to do it. I like doing the graphics. I like having those images and stuff, and I think it's kind of a fun thing too. Like when the Rams and Broncos, like that image was one that I used on a lot of stuff. Just shared a lot and post and all that, just because it was a game I was at. So I always try to go big for those. Also, guys, if you guys are fans of videos, if you guys are watching me on YouTube, you guys, one thing you can do after this is done is head over and check out Inside the Draft. It's a new series that the Rams are doing. I've not checked it out yet. I will be doing that tonight, though. Busy night for the Joe Bags. I got, obviously, I'm doing this right now. And, it's only 4 o'clock my time, so it's 3 LA time right now. So it's not that bad, but we got some stuff to do, which is going to be fun. But afterwards, check it out. After you guys are done watching this, check out Inside the Draft. And it's kind of interesting. I know about it. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself, but I know a lot about it. I know that in it, you get situations where the scouts and stuff are talking about people like Cam Akers pre-draft. They're like, yo, if this guy's here, we need to get him, stuff like that. And I think that's really a fun aspect of these little mini series. Seri? I don't know what the plural is, but series is. Either way, a lot of teams do these, and it's really fun. The Behind the Grind has been one of my favorite online series for a long time, and now we get Inside the Draft, which is going to be really cool. Like I said, a lot of teams do these. The Browns, theirs is really good. I have a lot of free time right now, so I've been watching other teams' videos, and the Colts, theirs is okay. The Browns is really good. Their production on it is really good, even though their team isn't very good, but it's pretty cool. So Inside the Grind is the new one. Inside the, I just combined them. It's Inside the Draft and Behind the Grind. Behind the Draft and Inside the Grinds. That's we got some new series coming out. So okay, let's talk about uniforms for a little bit. Okay, this is becoming a problem, I think. Okay, every other team has uniforms right now, except for the Rams. The LA Rams are uniformless, and that's all we want. I don't think that's too much to ask, and especially based on the uniforms we're coming from, where we didn't even have our official logo on the sides. Like, we had our old logo on the sleeves of our old uniforms. Like, come on, just give us our uniforms. We need some white uniforms that are not throwbacks, basically, or uniforms with logos that we don't use anymore, and gold trim, which isn't even one of our colors and hasn't been for a few years. So you know what? I'm going a little crazy, and I am tweeting Kevin Demoff daily, almost daily. It's not every day. I average like every 4 days, I would say. But we're getting there, and I don't know when this is going to happen. We have not heard anything. The only thing that we do know is that the original plan was to unveil the uniforms in front of a bunch of fans outside of SoFi Stadium, which would have already happened. That would have been a thing already. Unfortunately, this pandemic has kind of ruined everything in most of our lives, and we don't have them yet. And basically what happened was the current pandemic, it struck. We weren't able to do it at the stadium. So apparently there was kind of just a scramble of how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this unveiling? But either way, my fears are that it's taking so long that it's just going to leak. And nobody wants to see the leaked version. I mean, obviously it's going to be the same uniform, but nobody wants to see the leak. You know how I saw the Atlanta Falcons uniforms for the first time this year? Was like a crappy, what seemed like a Razr flip phone photo in a locker room of the back of the uniform. Guy was like walking away. It looked like someone's hand was like partially covering the camera so that they couldn't like get so that nobody knew that they were taking the picture. That's what it looked like, and it was awful. That's not how I want to see the Rams' new uniforms for the first time. These could be our uniforms for a while. You know what I mean? Like the old style uniforms, we had those for what, 18 years, 19 years? It could be quite some time of having these uniforms, and that's not how I want to see them for the first time. And kind of my point is I don't want to see the leak. I don't want a leak to happen. I want the Rams to be able to control it themselves and actually give us a real unveiling, because that's what we deserve, first of all. But also, I mean, we got some competition for some sick uniforms that are being dropped. I think the Patriots' new uniforms are super dope. I know that their home jerseys are just their old Color Rush jerseys, but they're sick. The Falcons, I don't know about the whole gradient stuff, and I'm scared that we're going to have it too, but whatever, I guess. Yeah, it was fine. The Chargers' new uniforms are sick, though. Like, the powder blue over yellow is one of my favorite combos in the entire NFL right now, and their dark blues are super dope. And we have to compete with that. We're supposed to be the LA team. LA is in our logo, you know what I mean? So we got to really step it up here. And if it comes out in a leak, that's going to be extremely underwhelming. So that's all I want, is to have a real unveiling. And really, I think we're at the point now. I mean, it's May 6th, and I think we're at the point now where just slap together a video. Get some players together to put on the uniforms, get some dope lighting in there, and then use some sweet video effects. Come on, man. That's like a day activity. Let's do this. Let's get this thing rolling. And honestly, they have the team. I mean, that's something that I could knock out today. I could knock that video out today if I had access to the players and stuff like that. But I've got like the editing equipment. Like, I could get that done today. Let's just do it. Let's just get this knocked out, man. Give us our uniforms, Demoff. Come on, man. All right. I'm going to calm down a little bit. Let's see. Benjamin Albright had mentioned before that the Rams uniforms were terrible, and take that for what you guys will. You guys can hate Benjamin Albright all you want for this, whatever. That's none of my business. But he did mention that they were bad. The newest information that he said, though, which was really interesting to me, is he said they look like soccer uniforms. And I genuinely don't know what that means. I don't know what it means to have soccer uniform, or that they look like soccer uniforms. Mainly because soccer uniforms don't necessarily have their own style. They're kind of like, they just look like t-shirts, really, to me. And like, they look like, how do I make this make sense? I feel like a soccer uniform looks like one of those generic t-shirts you get from like Old Navy or something. Does that make any sense at all? I don't know. But if you guys have any ideas, feel free to comment what you guys think that means, that the Rams' new uniforms look like soccer uniforms, because it doesn't make any sense to me at all. That, to me, like, he said they look like soccer uniforms, and I was like, that doesn't narrow it down for me at all, unless there's like a small number on the chest. But I don't even think you're allowed to do that. There's some weird NFL rules. You can get fined for wearing the wrong socks. So I know we can't go too nuts. It has to look semi-normal, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think we're all getting to a point now where it's like, well, just show us. Like, come on now. Like, just give them to us. I know there's those comments of people saying that the Rams don't have the uniforms yet because the lashback on the logos was so harsh that they're like scared, which is actually kind of funny to me, because like, could you imagine they're just sitting there and they're like, this is so dope. Like, this is going to be so good. And then like they get the feedback from the logos and then they're like, hold on. I just think that's a really fun. Obviously, that's not true. That's not how the NFL works. They're a powerhouse and they can do whatever they want. They can give us logos that we don't love and we just deal with it. Like, that's just how it works. It's the NFL. If Eric Dickerson couldn't go into Kevin Demoff's office and get him to change anything at all, I mean, what chance do we have? You know what I mean? We're just dudes on Twitter. We just get on our phones and tweet things to Kevin Demoff. I don't even think he checks those, because I don't check mine, okay? And I'm not nearly as important as Kevin Demoff, and I barely check my notifications on anything. So, and that's not to say, I mean, I'll look at some comments and stuff like that. I was told to check a comment. First of all, I'm going to address this right here, right now. First of all, last week I had a comment about my comment about Cooper Kupp. And first of all, I've been abundantly clear this entire time Cooper Kupp has been here that I think he could eventually become one of the greatest Rams receivers of all time, if not the best receiver of all time. I did not say, and have never said, that he is already the best wide receiver in Rams history. I've never said that in my life. So there was a little bit of confusion there. I was told to check that comment. I didn't respond to it, because what's the point, honestly? I mean, come on now. But I think I was misunderstood is all I'm trying to say. And the person who wrote the comment is probably watching this right now. And man, come on, dude. Like, we've had this conversation plenty of times. You got to call me out and get people to defend you over here on attacking me and my views. Rude, dude. Also, you're going to be on the show here pretty soon. So you guys will know about all that when he does come onto the show. let's get into a new segment here. This is not something that I've done before, and obviously, I mean, you guys that'll make all the sense in the world here in just a second. Let's okay, ways to stay busy during the quarantine, as I've been referring to it as, or the I've been calling it Frovid-19 too, because when I'm not wearing a hat, it's poof to the extreme, and it's getting kind of crazy. But also Jovid-19 works. Also Brovid-19, very classic. If you got more, please feel free to share them. But this is ways to stay busy that are Rams related. That's what we're doing right now. We're staying busy. We're keeping it Rams related because I think that's what we need to do. So first of all, these are just some ideas. Feel free. I'm not just like opening the door. I'm requesting that you guys give me other suggestions too. Drop them wherever you're hearing this. Drop a comment, and I'll check them this time. Okay. I know I was just like, I don't check my comments or anything. I'll check them this time because I need these ideas. I need more Rams related ideas on how to keep busy. I think I'm doing a good job. I'm sure most of you guys are too, unless you guys are already insane. You know, we're getting there. I know I'm getting there. I've been like really chomping at the bit to get back to work, and I know that's not everybody's style, is to go nuts on work and stuff, but I'm a worker, all right, and I go crazy when I can't. So this is idea one: crack open a cold one with a few boys. It can be virtual if you need it to be virtual. A lot of things are virtual right now. Most of us are two-dimensional. We're not even real people. Crack open a cold one with a few boys. Go through all the numbers 1 through 99 and pick your favorite or who you think is the best Rams player to ever wear that number in team history. There are a couple, like 7. I mean, you don't have any other options. It's Bob Waterfield. That is it. That is your option of your favorite or best or worst, whatever you want to pick. But that's it. But I mean, you can go through. Number 1 obviously is going to be Lansford. I'll go all the way to 99. Donald. I mean, come on. That's but you can go through. But if you're just drinking a few beers, knocking them back, you get into some arguments. It's good family fun. Beers and arguments is good family fun. You know, or you can also do in just sports. This is something me and my roommate did this not that long ago. Actually, it's probably last summer or something. But opening a few beers and going through, and it was all sports. Any team, any sport, didn't matter. Who is your favorite person to wear this number, or who do you think is the best person ever to wear that number? And it was a lot of fun. I mean, if you want to do, I mean, 24 is obviously Kobe or Joby. Most of you guys are gonna hate that joke. I'm okay with it. Kobe's the man either way, so it doesn't matter to me. Okay, get the NFL Game Pass. That's the next idea. It's free right now until the end of May. You can get it for free, faux free, and you can do what I did, which was rewatch the entire 2018 season, and it was a good one. Spoiler alert: it goes pretty well until the end. Like, it's got like a real clean story. The ending could have been better, but I mean, that's something you can do. You can go all the way back. I think it's 2011 that you can watch. I was watching the, what was it, 2012 or 13? I said this not that long ago to you guys, that I watched the Rams and 49ers overtime game where Zerline hit the field goal with 26 seconds to go in overtime to win after we had just tied them a couple weeks before. So, I mean, finally broke that tie. Took almost 10 full quarters to beat them once. And they went on to the Super Bowl. We did not. Spoiler alert, again, we did not go to the Super Bowl that year. But I did it, and it was awesome. Guys, rewatched the 2018 season, and it was so much fun. Such a fun season to watch and be a part of. I mean, covering it was one of my favorite things I've done, is covering the 2018 season. Going through, previewing all those games, doing all those videos, the promos, the playoff promo, doing the NFC Championship game. I just shared today again the video of me and my squad out here in Colorado watching where Zerline hit the field goal in overtime against the Saints to send the Rams to the Super Bowl, and we all lose our mind. There's like tears. I'm jumping up and down like crazy. If I didn't have the video, I wouldn't know what happened. I would have no idea, because it was just like I saw the kick go through, blur. I have no idea what I did after that. So the video helped me realize what even happened. I just started jumping around and stuff. It was pretty crazy. I think I lost my voice that day. That was a fun one. But you can do that. Also, I mean, again, leave your suggestions. I want to hear them. I want to hear what your suggestions are, how you're keeping busy relating to the Rams. Next idea. Watch old games and do 20 push-ups every single time your favorite player is involved in the play at all. I'm not going to participate in this. I'm built like Eric Foreman, so it's not a good idea for me. I've also got an elbow problem. I could go into all my excuses, okay? But I'm not gonna. I'm not doing it, though. I just try to think of an idea for you guys, all right? Watch it. Every time Mark Bear makes a play, do 20 push-ups. You'll just do like 20 push-ups a game. That's all. I love you, Mark Barron. I hope he comes back to the Rams. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm still hopeful. I found out today he's made $49 million over the course of his career. He averages over $400,000 a game. I picked the wrong profession, I think. Make Rams-related songs is my next suggestion for you guys. If you guys are musicians, I know I've got some talented listeners out there, okay? I know that there's artists out there. I know that there's musicians out there. I know that there's some skills out there, okay? So be part of the show. Help me help you, all right? This is I'm all for. I don't even do my sponsorship stuff anymore. This is all just for fun. I'm just doing this. I don't just try to sell all my ad space and stuff like that. I'm trying to just have a good time. I'm here just because I love to be here. And if you guys are super talented, and I know some of you guys are, most of you guys are probably, then do something Rams related, send it to me, and we'll get you hooked up. We'll do some stuff on the show. Make a song. Make a Rams related song. You could spoof another song, like the Rams are back in town, just stolen from the Thin Lizzy. The boys are back in town. I played that here on the show once. Batarang Boogie, we played that plenty of times, and Ram It, we used to play that one all the time. We used to end every show with a song. And those are some of the options that we had. So make a song, all right? Write a song, make it Rams related. Let's put it on the show. Maybe we can get Mike Nice on here too. I'll reach out. He wanted to update his song anyway, and he wanted to update it because there's some other stuff in there, some players that aren't here anymore. Definitely now with Gurley and Cooks, but he wanted to update it. He said with YG. I don't know. I don't know if that ever happened or if that was even discussed, but please make a family-friendly song, because Ram Showcase is family-friendly here. We're not cursing and stuff like that. We're not talking about all that stuff. There's other shows for that, and I respect those shows. I like those shows. I listen to those shows, but it's just not my style. I like to be family-friendly here, so make a family-friendly song or painting or whatever, and email it to ramshowcase@gmail.com. I will get it and I will play it on the show. If it's family friendly, I will play it on the show. If it's not family friendly, what I'm gonna do is beep it myself. So if you guys don't want your work beeped out, then just keep it family friendly. That's all you got to do for me. Okay, just do it. I'll manually beep it myself. Also, this is the good one. This is the one I was excited about. So record a 1 minute or less video. Please keep it to 1 minute or less. I know I did I loved, by the way, my first anniversary show. That is still available if you guys are on iTunes or wherever. Look at the 1 year anniversary show. Really, really cool. I can't listen to it anymore. It's a little sad to me now. Some people that are on there, it's a little hard to hear their voice right now. But I did that. Basically, what I did was say your name, where you're from, and why do you love the Rams. And I loved it. It was so much fun. A couple people went a little long on me, but that's okay. But this one, let's try to keep it under a minute. If you guys go to 105, I'm not gonna cut you off, But make a 1 minute video, make it Rams related, or rock some Rams gear, be in front of some Rams gear. I do all of them all the time. I always talk about the Rams. I wear the Rams stuff, and I'm in front of the Rams stuff. So I kind of do it a lot. And then just make a special video. You can do. We'll do that. We'll go ahead and I'll post about it too. I'll make sure that I post about it. That we'll do another just 1 minute of why do you love the Rams, who you are, where you're from, and why do you love the Rams. And make sure if you guys email those to Ram Showcase, then make sure that you guys add in spellings of your name, stuff like that, so I can get all that stuff correct. I don't want to ruin that for anybody. So, but yeah, make sure you guys send those. I think that'll be fun. If I don't get any, that's fine. If I get 1 billion, we're gonna have a 1 billion minute long video. That's just the way it is. I'm not gonna leave anybody out. I promise. If you guys send me a video, I'll put you in it. I absolutely will put you in it. Let's. Those are my ideas, by the way. That's it. Those are the ideas. I want some more from you guys though. And now we're gonna talk about when sports are coming back. We need them, guys. Oh my gosh, do we need them? I don't want to say I've blatantly hated the UFC or anything like that, because I haven't. I mean, it's not a thing. But I'm not an avid UFC watcher. I can tell you that much. And I'm watching the hell out of some UFC this weekend, for sure, 100%. We get live sports, live new sports, and it's been a while, and I'm super excited. So on the 9th, obviously, we get UFC. That's going to be amazing. That also ties into my Joe Stradamus. We'll loop back around. Don't worry about that. So as far as some other schedules, or as far as other sports, I mean, we're getting some interesting ones here. So the NFL's on schedule right now. As of right now, the NFL is on schedule to kick off at normal time. We get the schedule tomorrow. One thing I didn't mention earlier about the schedule that releases tomorrow is it really looks like they're going to put the AFC teams, the AFC versus NFC teams, or all those games, you get 4 of them a year. They're looking at putting those all early in the season. Like, you could kick off your season with 4 AFC games. The Rams could, we get the AFC East, so obviously that's Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Bills. The Patriots and the Jets come to LA, and then we're in Miami, in Buffalo. So that would be kind of nice. Get the Buffalo game out of the way. Then we're not, in Buffalo in December for an LA team. I don't want to be in Buffalo in December. I'll just put that out there. You know what I mean? Kind of sucks, because I wanted to go to that game, and if it's one of those early season games, it might get canceled, kind of thing. But right now, on schedule, we're looking at AFC up front, just in case they do need to cancel any games. The AFC versus NFC games are kind of the least important. I think they're all important, obviously, but if you're going to cut out some games, AFC versus NFC are the ones you want to cut out. You don't want to cut out division games. You don't want to cut out same place finisher games, stuff like that. So on schedule, though, the NFL is absolutely on schedule. 2 that have no idea yet, unless anything has changed within the last little bit. But the NHL and the NBA still don't know when they're coming back. The NHL is pretty adamant they want that 3-week period of training camp to come back. We'll kind of see. We've heard a lot of rumors about the NBA and the NHL, both about what they want to do, where they're going to be playing, are there going to be fans, stuff like that. It's all bananas right now. It's all just chaos, and we don't really know what's happening. So we just got to wait. The PGA Tour golf is back in mid-June. I'm going to watch, because it's back in its sports. At this point, I'll watch anything. I don't even care at this point. NASCAR, might not watch this one. But NASCAR returns on the 24th of this month in May. Baseball is looking at June 16th. That is what they're looking at, or earlier is what they're saying. So June 16th or sooner is what the MLB is looking at. UFC, May 9th. Boom! 3 days away. We get UFC. It's going to be dope. I can't wait. And then if you guys are interested in other sports such as tennis, which is July 13th. But those are... that's just some information for you guys so that we can get back to sports. I'm so excited. Sports are my whole life right now. Like, that's you took away work, you took away sports. If they told me I couldn't do Rams Showcase because it's not essential or something, that I would lose it. I couldn't do it anymore. So, we're making some progress, I guess, but it's a weird time right now. And now we got murder hornets. What is happening to the world right now? The world's trying to kill us, okay? We just had Earth Day. I didn't celebrate Earth Day because the world is trying to kill us. It's trying to kill us off. So let's get into my Joe Stradamus and fan quesos. We'll just knock them both out right now. So Joe Stradamus making his return. You guys may notice I'm using basic music. I've cut out a lot of songs. I felt like it was unnecessary. I don't know if you guys care about that at all. But Joe Stradamus comes back. We didn't do it last week because there was nothing to predict. I could have predicted, how many hours I was going to sleep. Something like that. I don't know what I could have predicted, but we're we're getting there. So this week though, Joe Stradamus makes his return, and I did say it was going to be non-Rams related, but it is sports related, and we get sports back on Saturday, May 9th. We get UFC 249. My Joe Stradamus pick. First, I'll give you guys some background. I am born and raised out here in Colorado. Born in Colorado Springs. I live in Fountain now, which is same county. So it's just Colorado Springs, but it's technically Fountain. The home of Morgan Fox, by the way. I think he's here actually right now. He's probably like down the street from me. I have no idea. But I was born out here. Obviously, I went to school out here because that's what happens when you're alive. You go to school where you're at. When you're that age, when you're school age, you go. And there was one year that I went to a school. I don't claim it really because I claim Wasson is the school that I went to school at. Wasson High School, that's the one I claim. But Coronado was one that I went to for 1 year. I went to Coronado back in 2009, way back in the day. I know you guys are going to hate that. Some of you guys are going to hate that sentence, but way back. And it was 2009. It was pretty cool because the Olympics had just gone on, and there was a wrestler in the Olympics that went to Coronado by the name of Henry Cejudo. And it was pretty cool, actually. There was what do they call those? An assembly? There was one of those in the gym, and Cejudo came out, and he talked to us. It was really cool. I got to meet him afterwards and stuff, shake his hand, just talk with him for a little bit. Obviously, we didn't go too nuts or anything, but it was cool to be able to meet him. So my prediction, I'm going to say Cejudo, Henry Cejudo, he defends his title, and he defeats Dominic Cruz. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Joe Stradamus said so, and once Joe Stradamus says it, it's over. It's basically, take to the bank, cash it, won't bounce. Let's get into some fan quesos. We got some good ones for you guys, and there was a couple of these. Normally I would just pass them over, but it's May, and we also don't have a lot of things going on, so I'm going to answer them. But there's some that are not necessarily sports related. We won't go too crazy into them, though, I promise. So Steve wants to know, does Carl have any Rams gear that he wears? For those of you guys that don't know, I have a cat. His name is Carl. He's off screen right now. He's sleeping. So I'm not going to show him to you or anything, but I do have a cat named Carl. He's the Colonel Carl. But no, actually, he doesn't have any Rams gear that he wears. And that's actually because he is more of a Bengals, Panthers, and Lions fan. He likes the feline teams. He's not necessarily a fan of the ungulated teams. I appreciate the question, though. Let's keep looking over at him. He usually goes nuts the second I hit record. Today, hit record and he went to sleep. So I'm just kind of trying to leave him alone. I don't have to edit out him running around and scream meowing at me this time. So that's very nice. Very helpful for me. But no, Steve, unfortunately, Carl does not have any Rams gear. Maybe I should get him some, though. Maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe I need to stop letting him just love the Lions, Panthers, and Bengals, and Jaguars also. I forgot. So maybe I need to start pushing him a little bit more towards the Rams. He's probably going to be in LA with me eventually, someday anyway, so he better get used to it. Next question here is from Gary. Gary wants to know, Van Jefferson or Josh Reynolds, who has more catches this year? I'm going to go... I still think that Josh Reynolds has more catches this year. I realize that Van is a very popular name right now as far as Rams fans go, but how did we seriously go from... We really went from like, okay, Brandon Cooks is gone, so Josh Reynolds all day. Everybody was on the Josh Reynolds train. Everybody was like, dude, Josh is gonna roll it. He's unstoppable. He's gonna be fine. He's our guy. The second we drafted Van Jefferson, it was like, Van Jefferson's our guy. Like, he hasn't even played in the NFL yet, guys. Can we let him play? Overall, his production was kind of underwhelming in college. And I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I'm actually really excited for Van Jefferson. But let's let him play in the league for a little bit before we start crowning him. I realize that Josh Reynolds hasn't necessarily broken out or anything yet, but he's always played well. He's not played poorly. Anytime he's in the game, he's playing fine. So I guess I'm just kind of saying, let's pump the brakes a little bit. But Josh Reynolds right now, and the reason that I'm also saying Josh Reynolds is the coaching staff is super high on Reynolds. McVay already has said that he expects Reynolds to have a pretty hefty workload this season. So, and I realize coach speak and stuff like that. You don't want to give up your cards or anything like that, but come on. Like, we don't just toot players' horns for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta take that stuff into consideration a little bit. This next question comes from Nick. He wants to know, Oreos or Chips Ahoy? Depends on the Chips Ahoy. And the Oreos, actually. Because there's like some really good Oreos out there. There's the red velvets are dope. The cinnamon roll ones are good. Chips Ahoy, though, obviously chewy ones. They've got red velvet ones that are really good. So I guess it just depends on your mood and your style. And I mean, if you're going basic, just like the regular blue pack of Chips Ahoy or the original Oreos, I think I gotta go Chips Ahoy. Yeah. Next question. This one comes from Paul, host of the Jet Zone, also on Sports War Radio. How do you feel about the Jalen Ramsey deal now that some time has passed? When can we expect a contract extension, and what could that look like? That is such a good question, Paul. Such a good question. So I'll do my best here, Paul, because it is a difficult question to answer, and you understand that. But how I feel about the Jalen Ramsey trade now, and now that some time has passed, what's also passed is some big contracts that the Rams have. We're kind of unloading a little bit. So ultimately, I feel pretty good about the Ramsey deal. I think what could that look like? I mean, I don't know. I have access to his what am I thinking? Market value right now. Let me just search that real quick. Because his market value has got to be pretty decent, and I mean, we're gonna have to pay him. So 14.3 is what SpotTrack is saying as far as his market value. But I could see it going, and I mean, I could see it anywhere from 13 to 18. Honestly, I mean, I think that the Rams are gonna wait for this year, though. As far as when that happens, I'm not sure it's gonna happen this offseason. It very well could. The Rams they like paying people early and a lot, so that's cool. But so it could absolutely happen this offseason. I would say, though, that I think it's more likely that it either happens right before the season begins or after the season. Because obviously the Rams gave up a whole lot to get Jalen Ramsey. And you don't give up a lot like that if you don't plan on having that guy on your team for a little while. Because what's the point of giving up a one or a couple of ones if you're just going to let that guy go? You might as well just draft somebody you're going to have for at least 4 years. You know what I mean? So what's the point? But what could that look like? I think we're going to be looking at a 5-6 year deal. And I think, about $15 million a year, I think sounds about right. I think that sounds real. So that's what I would guess as far as an extension. But I feel pretty good about the Ramsey deal. There's a couple of big deals coming up right now. After this season, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, and John Johnson alone, that's huge. I mean, that's gonna dent the pocketbook for sure. Next one here coming from Paul. A lot of outside rumors that the Rams could still move some pieces to create cap room. Who are the most likely candidates, and what could they garner back in a potential deal? So, as far as trades, it's difficult. That's a difficult one because, I mean, you look at some of the names that I saw your question early, Paul, and I kind of wrote down some stuff because I really liked your question. But I'm not saying that I want these guys cut. I'm not saying that these guys will be cut. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm just laying out the scenario, okay? Because I know it happens every time that I say some names of people who could potentially get cut because of cap reasons. I kind of get blown up a little bit. So I'm not saying I want these guys gone. I'm not saying they will be gone. I'm just saying these are the numbers if they were to leave, if the Rams were to move on from them, okay? So Robert Woods, first and foremost. I don't think the Rams are going to get rid of Robert Woods. I don't think the Rams have a reason to get rid of Robert Woods. But right now, if they wanted to move on from Woods after June 1st, they would save $5 million over the next 2 years. If they waited until next year, they'd save $7 million. After that, I mean, Gerald Everett is a little bit expendable right now, and if the Rams cut him, they could save $1.3 million. I mean, that's not a lot as far as NFL terms go. It's life-changing money for people like us, but but for the NFL salary cap, it's not that big of a deal. It's helpful, though. It helps. Josh Reynolds and Samson Abucom both saved just just over $2 million each if they were to be cut or traded. So those are options. And of those two, I would say I'm not confident necessarily saying either of these guys could go in, and then which between the two would be the one to move on from if we had to pick one. Josh Reynolds, I mean, I love Josh Reynolds. Everybody knows that. I'm a big Josh Reynolds fan. But simple fact is the Rams wide receiver room is still stacked even after trading Brandon Cooks. And then you also have Samson Ebukam, who, I mean, yeah, you lose not Leonard Floyd. You add Leonard Floyd. You lose Dante Fowler, and then you also lose Clay Matthews. So Ebukam sounds a little bit safe there, but I mean, there was a reason he didn't start last year, guys. I like Ebukam. I like Ebukam a lot. I was a big fan in 2018. That Chiefs game, whew, man, I was loving some Ebukam. 2 touchdowns that day. That was great. But I mean, there's a reason that the Rams went after somebody. There's a reason they went after Fowler. There's a reason they brought in Clay Matthews. As simple as that. I mean, so Ebukam, I think, is pretty expendable. Actually, you know what? I think I just talked out my own answer. I think I talked it out. If I had to pick one, it'd be Ebukam. I think that's it. Next, this one also didn't feel expendable pre-draft. Is a little bit now. Malcolm Brown. If the Rams decide to move on from him, save just under $1.1 million. So that's an interesting one as well. Those are my answers, though, for you, Paul. There are some names of people that the Rams could move on from and create some more room, and especially in the future. I mean, Cooper Kupp, John Johnson, and Jalen Ramsey. That's going to eat up so much cap space next year, and I'm not sure we can keep all three. To be completely honest, I feel like the Rams have to pick 2. And if I had to pick 2, I don't know who I would pick. Jalen Ramsey is one of the best corners in the NFL. John Johnson is one of the best safeties in the NFL, and Cooper Kupp is one of the best wide receivers right now. More yards last year out of the slot than anybody else in the league. And you got Woods and Reynolds and now Van on top of that. I mean, come on. He's still producing like crazy. He's one of the better receivers in the NFL right now. And so is John Johnson's one of the better safeties, and Jalen Ramsey is one of the better corners. It's hard to decide who to keep there. That is a tough one. That's a really tough one. Keith wants to know, are there new uniforms if nobody sees them? I guess not. I mean, they exist. The uniforms exist. I think. I can't confirm that, though. Obviously, they're there. Somebody's seen them. Somebody knows what they look like. But I can't confirm that because I haven't seen them. I can only confirm information that I know or that I hear from a very reliable person. I guess Benjamin Albright's pretty reliable. I don't even want to say he's pretty reliable. He is a reliable person. I have no issues with Benjamin Albright, by the way. I know some people are kind of getting mad at him for making comments about our uniforms. First of all, he's a media person. Leave him alone. And he's a cool dude. And he's in Denver. Should hit him up. Yeah, so I don't know if the uniforms exist. I just want them. I want to see them already. Keith wants to know also a deep look into the ceiling of Cam Akers. That's a hard one to answer right now just because we haven't seen him on the NFL field. But I'm feeling pretty good about Cam Akers. The Rams are feeling really good about Cam Akers. The scouts were the reason that the Rams took Cam Akers. There was kind of a discussion. This is something that I read earlier today that Sean McVay was having a conversation with one of the area scouts, and he basically asked, he's like, does Cam Akers in the 2nd or P. Ryan in the 4th, like, which one do we go for? And obviously we went to Akers, but that was because the scout was like, dude, if Akers is there, you need him. Like, he's got the potential to be a workhorse. And that's what the scout said, was that Cam Akers has the potential to be a workhorse back. He's got all the skills. He's paying all the bills with his skills. He's paying bills with his skill set over here. And I'm excited for Cam Akers. I think that I don't know if he's going to start week 1. He very well could. I'm not convinced he will, but he very well could start week 1. But even if he doesn't, I think he's our starter by the end of the season. I think that he earns that role, whether that's him coming in and playing really well, or the fact that Malcolm Brown and Henderson, they just kind of, I mean, it's hard to put it on them because all 3 running backs last year for the Rams had like almost identical averages. It was, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. I mean, it's all right in the same ballpark, so it's hard to to say that it was either of them, but they weren't producing either. That's kind of my point here with that one is, Todd Gurley wasn't lighting anything up, but neither were they. So I think his ceiling's pretty high, though, actually. We're looking, his odds on Rookie of the Year are like 4th best in the NFL right now. So that's pretty cool. We're getting there. And then these last few come from Jason. Jason's always trying to get me into rugby. I have a hard time with it. But now, I would watch so much rugby. That's some sports, dude. That's all I want. What is the weakest spot on our O-line? I genuinely think it's left tackle. And I hate giving that answer. Because I like Andrew Whitworth. And I think he's such a dope locker room guy also. He's an incredible leader. Great guy. Perfect locker room presence. Sweet veteran, smart guy. I just think he's a little old. And I'm not trying to attack him here. I'm not trying to down Andrew Whitworth in any way. That's just kind of how I feel about it, is I think that left tackle is kind of the weak spot. I think that No Boom or Corbett at left guard is a good option. I think Blythe is the best option over Brian Allen at the center spot. I think Edwards at right guard and Evans at right tackle, I think that's a sweet O-line. I really do, though. I really think that left tackle is the weak spot, and I think that we're going to see that this year. Next question here from Jason. Who do you think will be the most improved player over last year? Obo? Obo obviously is a huge candidate for this. Micah Kaiser is a big candidate for this as well. There's only really a couple of names that are big candidates for this. Darrell Henderson is one. Josh Reynolds is another one. Then Obo, Kaiser. I think Troy Hill is a big, strong candidate. I think Troy Hill just comes in as R2 and is dope at corner. I really do think that. I know some fans are pretty critical on Troy Hill. I think he's always played fine. He's had a couple of mistakes, and that's what kind of bothers me about that assessment is we always remember the mistakes. We don't remember their good plays because the ball didn't go to them. I've seen a bunch of Rams fans talking about how Jalen Ramsey had a bad season when he came to the Rams because of his lack of stats. That's what you want in a corner. You don't want your corner to be loading up on stats. That means he's getting picked on. You want him to just shut his side down to where the quarterback's like, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going near that guy. It's just blocked off. I'm not even seeing it. My QB vision cone from Madden is all the way over here. It's just set this side. I think that Troy Hill's a big one too. We'll see though. I think Obo's a strong candidate. I absolutely think Obo's a strong candidate for that. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. I know everybody hates most people hate my answers to these questions. Of like, what do you think about this? I have no idea. It's I can't help it. I don't know what to tell you guys. Last one here though, before I let you guys go, is if you could pick one available free agent to add to our roster, assuming we had the cap space, who would it be? By the way, I love that you added in that part about assuming we have the cap space, because I know you listen to my show regularly, and I know you know that I was just gonna say it doesn't matter, we don't have the cap space. But you added it. I'll give you that, so that's cool. Who would it be? Dude, come on now. You listen to my show. This is an unnecessary question. I want Mark Barron. I want Mark Barron back. So bad I want Mark Barron back. It's a problem, actually. I think Mark Barron, Micah Kaiser combo. Green Dot Barron. He's a smart player. 8 years, $49 million. I miss Mark Barron, guys. It's gotten to this point. Because obviously I'm a big fan of Mark Barron. I genuinely am a fan of Mark Barron. I'm kind of just making the meme out of it now, though. Now I'm just going nuts. Like yesterday, in my memories popped up from like 2-3 years ago. And it was like, man, I just miss football. And it was 2 pictures of Mark Barron. And so I decided to share that. And it was like, I treated it like an ex post, where you're like, oh man, I hate when memories reminds you of somebody you miss. Nobody laughed at it though, so I guess I said it a little too seriously. But whatever, what can you do? That's going to do it for me, guys. Make sure you guys follow the Rams Showcase on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I hate the TikTok. I'm not even getting on there, really. So, you can follow it. It's got 1 video. I said I was going to do one last week. I didn't. We'll see about this week. Chances are slim, but I would say that it's possible. But make sure you guys follow Rams Showcase everywhere. That's at Rams Showcase, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.com/Rams Showcase. You can follow me as well. And I am Sheriff Joe Bags. You follow me at Sheriff Joe Bags on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Sheriff Joe Bags. You can search my name, Joe Branham, and just add me as a friend. And I don't see all my requests. Like I said, don't check all my notifications. So if I don't check it right away, just shoot a message and be like, yo, dude, accept me, man. I'm a Rams fan. And I think your show's awesome. That'll get you added for sure. If you tell me how cool I am and how much you love the show, you're 100% going to get added. No question. No question. You can also just follow me. All my pages are public. I have nothing to hide. But that's going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Rams Showcase on Sports War Radio. For those of you that aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you that are Rams fans, thank you guys so much for listening, and you guys have a great night.